Welcome back everybody to Crypto Scams, where crypto doesn't work like it used to. In today's episode, we have the Bitcoin unicorn. This is a fun one, so let me read this to you. A rich Bitcoin unicorn was telling all the forest animals about his new 1000x crypto gem that he found. The forest animals, being poor, were very excited and started putting all their money into the tiny crypto coin. After they bought the coin, the price started going up and they made some easy money. So they all followed the Bitcoin unicorn on Twitter and started posting about how great it was. But what the Bitcoin unicorn didn't tell them was that he was the one pumping the price by buying it with his Lambo. So when he sold all his coins for millions of dollars, the price crashed and all the forest animals were left holding worthless tokens, while the Bitcoin unicorn flew away in a Lambo, leaving the forest animals angry and penniless. One grounded donkey said, "If it's too good to be true, it's a horse." So who was that grounded donkey? Well, you know that iconic scene in The Wolf of Wall Street when Leonardo DiCaprio is trying to convince a client to buy some penny stocks, but the client is skeptical and he says it's too good to be true. And then after he buys the stock, of course the stock tanks and it's a major pump and dump scheme. Now, if you were around in 2013 or 2014, do you remember the infamous horsey crypto Ponzi scheme? No, well, if you weren't around back then, just consider yourself lucky, because these guys had a wild ride and they got absolutely wrecked. So here are two screenshots from the internet. One shows a website which looks kind of legitimate and it's the horse stable token. And then the other one shows the white paper and it shows a bunch of charts, right? You can see all these charts showing how the price action goes up. It goes down sideways, and there's all kinds of analysis on here. Now, did any of these charts say buy high, sell higher? No. What they should have said is buy high, sell higher. Now, you can go online and you can find hundreds of articles from 2013 that talk about this stable coin and how it is skyrocketing, how people are making a fortune off of it, all of that stuff. However, where are the charts of the price action of the token? Because those don't exist. Why don't we see any charts of the actual price? Well, because it was a scam. And so these guys, this particular group of scammers, they ran a Ponzi scheme and they ran an exit scam. And guess what happened to them? They got wrecked. So there's another article here from 2014 that says, where are they now? Check this out. After the supposed success of their first crypto, the creators of Horse Stable Token released new digital currency backed by gold, the H-Gold. However, speculation that the project is a scam once again has risen. Ha! It wasn't speculation. It was fact. And they knew it was a scam. So you can also see here, this is a chart of the price of the H-Gold token, and you can see it pretty much went straight up and then straight down. It went to zero. So anybody that got in at the top got wrecked. Anybody that got in later on got wrecked. Anybody that got in still holding on to that trash and watching this video right now, sorry bud, you're getting wrecked. Let's take a look at some of these news headlines from 2014, shall we? Horse stablecoin founders launch new cryptocurrency backed by gold, says investors. Beware of the promises of fabulous returns and safeguard your investments. That's pretty ominous. Beware of the promises of fabulous returns and safeguard your investments. Pretty good advice for anything that might happen in the future, especially in crypto. New cryptocurrency H-Gold claims to be backed by real gold bars stored in Swiss vaults. Stored in Swiss vaults? Sounds legit. New cryptocurrency H-Gold claims to be backed by real gold bars stored in Swiss vaults. However, skeptics claim it could be a repeat of the controversial Horse Stable token. I wonder what happened to those guys. H-Gold claims to be different from Horse Stable token. Unlike Horse Stable, H-Gold is backed by physical gold. Each H-Gold is equivalent to 1/25th of a fine gold. Okay, this is getting weird because it actually says on the official website, unlike Horse Stable, each H-Gold represents 1/25th of a troy ounce of gold held in trust in Switzerland. Okay, this is a Ponzi scheme, I know it is. How do I know it's a Ponzi scheme? Because nobody can track where the money's coming from and where the money's going. If I give you $100 and then you give it to somebody else, that's a Ponzi scheme. If I give you $100 and you invest it in Apple stock, that's not a Ponzi scheme. You can track where that money is going. With this, it's literally impossible to track where the money is flowing. They even had an ICO back in 2014 and they raised over $2 million. I mean, really, isn't it crazy how these scammers think they're so smart? They're not smart at all, they're actually pretty stupid. And I want to show you something else. It gets better. These guys, when they launched this H-Gold back in 2014, they didn't just come out of nowhere, right? They had a reputation before. They had the reputation of being a team of scammers. Let me read this to you. A new gold-backed virtual currency called H-Gold is being marketed by the same individuals behind a controversial online token that regulators claim is a security. It's called Horse Stable Token. The people behind it, James Arthy and Ryan Rofsky, claim the H-Gold is not a security. Regulators disagree. In a September 26 statement, the Department of Business Oversight said Horse Stable Token is a virtual token that functions as a security and therefore must be registered with the department. Okay, so they knew they were scammers. They knew it. The government knew it. And so when they launched H-Gold, they tried to paint themselves in a better light. But they were the same people. And this is a major red flag. These guys were arrested and charged in 2015. I mean, this was big news. Check out this headline. Former Colorado residents charged with running massive Bitcoin Ponzi scheme. So they got hit with a class action lawsuit. They had to pay a multi-million-dollar settlement. They lost everything. And the point of the story is that you need to do your own research. Do not put your money in something unless you understand it. Now, would you like to learn more about blockchain technology? Of course you would. Watch this video.